already know you. I'm not gonna beg you to listen to me. You ain't got to worry about me
Discretion is
wasting no
advised.
more time on you.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
You must listen. What I'm about to tell you will change the course of history.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm not draining myself. And that's what y'all ass don't get, cause
You're in the Matrix and you need to get out.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Matrix Study Hall. I am Miss Oracle. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I want to send love to my day one A1s. I couldn't do it without you guys. We're growing here, so give yourself a hand clap. Let's go ahead and get into this article. This is from a true crime segment of lawandcrime.com. This came across my desk and I definitely gotta highlight this because this is happening a lot. It's titled Wet Baby. Okay, woman spotted soaking wet walking along the road before her 1-month-old was found unalived in a brook. Okay, and the journalist for this article is Jamie Feverly. Let's get into reading it. It says a Connecticut woman who triggered a silver alert after she and her 1-month-old baby went missing is now charged in the infant's unaliving. Sadie Fleming, 27, was charged with murder after Connecticut State Police said that she drowned her 1-month-old son Hudson Fleming in June. According to an arrest warrant reviewed by Law and Crime, Fleming was reportedly having troubling symptoms the night before she and Hudson went missing, including an episode during which she believed people were after her. An unnamed woman who was living with Fleming and her baby said that she last saw the new mother and child turning in for the night at around midnight on June 8th. The next morning, they were both gone. Also, it says a woman whose name and relationship to Fleming were redacted in the arrest warrant. She told police that Fleming had a history of psychiatric issues and had just started a new medication the day before she and Hudson went missing. Emphasis on the day before this happened. The information prompted police to issue a silver alert for Fleming and Hudson, and it did not take long before someone spotted a woman matching Fleming's description. Okay, Fleming was asked where the baby was, and she reportedly responded, "What baby?"
Bombastic
Police who
side-eye.
encountered Fleming said that she seemed to be extremely panicked and did not even know her own name or where she was. Fleming eventually calmed down, but then became unresponsive and was taken to the hospital. At that same time, a search was happening nearby for Hudson, whose lifeless body was found in a small body of water. Okay, they found Hudson's body in an infant carrier and a vape pen, both of which were identified as belongings of Fleming. An autopsy concluded that his cause of death was drowning. Fleming was at the hospital, and the woman who reported her missing spoke with detectives detailing Fleming's history of issues, which dated back to 2019. The woman told detectives that on the night of June 7th, Fleming took her nighttime meds, including a new med at around 8:30, and got Hudson ready for bed between 11:30 to midnight, and Hudson is the newborn. According to police, Fleming told the woman she was in the hospital that earlier hours of June 8th. So on the same day, she purportedly hid in a closet with Hudson because she thought people were after her. Fleming also described running through the woods, the river, and the field, cutting her hands on barbed wire. She also said of Hudson, "He's gone, I've lost him." She also told the police that days earlier she began having thoughts that people were trying to unalive her and the Illuminati was out to get her. Police described Fleming's recent medical history since Hudson's birth in late April, including a long list of medications for various medical conditions. This was later redacted from the document in court. This was reported by the Department of Child and Family Investigation, and there was a significant concern for Hudson's father. Okay. Also, it says that, let's read a little bit further, guys, and I'm going to include the link in the description for those of you that are interested in reading the remainder of what it says. But it just says that Hudson determined the manner of his death was homicide. So Hudson, again, is a little baby, and her bond was set to $5 million. Her next court date is in November. So before I get into what the commenters have to say, I just want to give a few of my little takeaways from this, my 2 cents, and that is, unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of these stories about things happening to children, in particular little babies. And I know some of you get these ideas in your mind where you think that you can just have a child and it's going to be it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to be alert, you're going to have to be aware, and it's going to be stressful. That's just what it is. But you have to choose your heart. You can do the right thing or you're going to do the wrong thing, but either way it's going to have some level of stress with it. Now, with what was mentioned in this article in regarding to her well-being, again, I just want to state for the record, I'm not no doctor or anything. I'm just a mom, and when I see things that has happened to children, it's just really unfortunate, and it could have been avoided. Even if she did not have family, if you feel like you got to get to the point where you got to drown your child, maybe just drop the child off at your nearest hospital or something. Somebody will be able to take the baby in. But with them even having evidence of her having, she had her vape pen in the baby carrier when the baby was drowned. Like, if you decide to be a mom, especially like the hormonal changes you're going to go through, you're going to be emotional, it's going to be a lot, and you got to be aware and alert for that baby. So you're already in a stressful situation, then you're going to add meds on top of that, as well as vaping. Like, that's just a lot. So no wonder she was running through the field, running through the river. Like, yeah. So I can't say, I'm not trying to pass judgment on her, because I pray that she gets some type of relief, because that has to be agonizing, the things that happen to her and the things that she ended up doing to her own son. But come on, y'all, we got to do better. Like, this stuff is happening a lot, and this could have been avoidable. Like, don't fall for the hype. They try to make you think these things are just a harmless pastime. You only get one shot when it comes to being a parent. You can't really undo things, and one tragic mistake and you're facing serious charges, or you can ruin your life. So let's go ahead and get into some comments. That's all I have to say about it. It's just a mess, and I pray for peace for her. Hopefully that she can get some type of real help, because she's gonna need it. That's probably gonna haunt her for the rest of her life. And rest in peace to baby Hudson. All right, so let's get into the comments. We have first, Addison55 says she was sane enough to get pregnant, so she should have been sane enough to go to prison for life. This name cracks me up a little bit. Smokahontas. Okay, she says she could have been great in addition to postpartum depression. Valid point. John C says, do you know how long it takes medication to change your mental state? She definitely sounded imbalanced already. She needs a long-term help. Let the pros work this out before casting judgment. True. Facts. Sheila Florney says, I think it could have been the mess. Let's go down to a few more. Blue-Eyed Bear says, actually, some people with depression are quite highly functional, and because of that, those around them are oblivious to what's going on mentally. That's a really valid point. Yeah, they probably thought, she got it, she can take care of this, and she was struggling seriously. Let's keep going. Nessie says, everybody on a baby unaliving spree. You know what? I mentioned that earlier. It seems like this is happening a lot. Like, what is really going on? LF0909 says, wasn't too crazy to get pregnant. User NE says, I say we sterilize people that shouldn't reproduce, whether they are challenged or not, or meth heads. Okay. Let's go down a few more. Carolyn Stewart XYGD says, this is so sad. I pray that they lock her up and throw away the keys. Plum Bucket 65 says, what are they handing out anymore? Yeah, makes sense. Cherry Lime says, and the father. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Janice Teet says, give these demons the shot. Chewy says liberals will support this. Ozzy the Great says the new medication may have caused this. Joshua LePage says, what baby? WTF? Yeah, exactly. Ruth Flower says so many parents are unaliving their own children or child. Unfortunately, Tanya Witt says just heartbreaking. Dixie says she should have protected herself against pregnancy, and where is the guy that got her pregnant? He must have disappeared fast. Patriotic Republican says humanity is going to be extinct if everyone doesn't stop unaliving their children. Absolutely disgusting and heartbreaking. I agree. Lenny Morris says these mothers who unalive their own kids, I call them mommy dearest. Yeah. I think that was Joan Crawford that made that movie. Yeah. It's really startling what's happening. Cynthia Hunt says she could miss a few meals. Wow, okay. Right? Carolyn Taplin says, wow, oh wow, 27. Looking I ain't gonna get into that. I'm gonna go ahead and go down because some of these comments, y'all are really wow, but you see it for yourself. Dale Thomas says life without parole. Monique says she should have gotten an AB. Tasha Robinson says people keep vaporizing their brains and lungs with vapes. Let's keep going down. Read a few more before we get up out of here, y'all. See, I already saw those. Nancy Anks says scream. Y'all, if you know of anybody in dire need, or you may assume that they're struggling, it doesn't take much to try to help that person if they have a newborn. Newborns, like, they're defenseless, so they need care constantly. So if you have the ability to try to help somebody that is a first-time mom or has a newborn, try to help these people, because some of these people are struggling. Not everybody can deal with stress in a way that they're not going to harm themselves or harm someone else. I mean, that's just my little 2 cents, y'all. Until next time, as you exit, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here at the Matrix Study Hall. Bye.
Wow.